Hello and welcome to Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber of Commerce, where we connect with Troy Chamber members as they give us a glimpse into their company and share some of the business lessons they've learned along the way. Hi everyone, I'm Tara Thompson-Cusack, President and CEO of the Troy Chamber of Commerce, and I'm joined today by the Vice President of the Chamber, Sheila Denstead.
Hello everyone.
First, I'd like to take a moment to thank our presenting sponsor, Trion Solutions. Stay tuned for our very first commercial break where you can learn how you can rely on Trion. So Sheila, we have a very fun guest. We've known her for quite some time and have become friends. But could you tell us and do a quick little introduction about who we're going to be meeting with today?
I absolutely can and would be honored to. Today we're meeting with Larisa Walega. Larisa serves as Chief Growth Officer at Ziebart International Corporation, the parent company of the largest franchised automotive aftermarket appearance protection brand, geared towards bringing back that new car feeling and smell to thousands of drivers every day. I had to throw the
You added the smell in. I like that. It's true.
In her role, she leads franchise development and marketing, effectively helping to grow brand awareness and lead generation across all verticals of the brand. She also leads efforts to create a seamless customer journey across each business unit, utilizing key messaging and measurement to optimize each customer's experience. Larisa is a certified franchise executive and serves as the chair of the IFA's Women Franchise Committee after serving as vice chair and member at large. And we need to know what IFA stands for when we get into your part, because I'm curious.
No problem.
Larisa has been recognized by 1851 Franchise as a top 100 influencer in franchising, Global Franchise as 50 era-defining women to watch, and Entrepreneur as top 50 CMO game changer. Welcome, Larisa.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here. I love when we can sit down and talk.
And it's even more fun because after hearing your bio, we've known you've been impressive, but boy, that's pretty darn impressive.
I'm tired. Like, it's a lot.
So, Larisa, obviously, you serve as the Chief Growth Officer for Ziebart. Thank you, by the way. You've helped me sell numerous cars in my life because I know how clean they look, and they look brand new by the time it's done. So thank you for that. But can you tell us, first of all, just a little bit about Ziebart and your role there?
Sure, absolutely. So Ziebart is it's a very big year for us. We are 65 years old. I know we don't look a day over 21, but the brand is celebrating 65 years, been in franchising for over 60. The brand was founded on rust protection in 1959 by Kurt Ziebart, who then sold off the company and expanded. In the 80s, we then expanded into services like detailing, window tint, different types of films, obviously keeping to the core of protection within our brand. So now that we're 65 years old, we're excited. One of the oldest franchises in the world. That's another very fun and exciting component of our brand, is that in addition to, the idea of bringing back that new car feeling for thousands, really millions of drivers at this point around the world, we're also, bringing that entrepreneurship to future entrepreneurs, multi-unit franchise owners as well too. So we're just so excited to be celebrating 65 years. I wish this podcast was like in 60 days because we have so many very large announcements happening over the brand. So keep watching out for us and what we're accomplishing.
I mean, I guess we could just have you come back. Like, I will not oppose this. But I think what's cool, you guys are not old. You're just in your prime.
We are. We are in our prime. And, my role is to really facilitate growth of the company at this point. I'm very grateful and blessed to be in this position. I've been with the company now. It'll be 15 years this July.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, just super excited about all the plans and things that are coming up for the brand. But we're not forgetting that we have to celebrate that, too. And I think sometimes we think forward. We're so focused on forward, that 65 years is kind of a big deal. We're one of the, I don't like to say oldest, but legacy brands in franchising. We were actually one of the brands that helped establish the IFA, or the International Franchising Association.
Oh, you got it. You got it in.
Yeah. So it's a big, we have a great responsibility, not just to drivers around the world to keep and protect one of their second biggest investments, but we also have a huge responsibility to up and coming and future entrepreneurs to become a part of a brand that really just has changed the focus of automotive appearance in the world.
I know. It's
It's
so
just
fascinating.
cool. Well, you're a leader. We know that. You've led for 15 years now and in different capacities and with different groups. What are your greatest challenges in leadership?
I think something that I learned, I'll never forget very early on. I tell this story, I'm totally open about it. So during COVID, as we were all, concerned, right? I know we don't want to talk about it anymore,
It's
but it's a
fine.
little bit part of my story. So, we'll just talk for like a brief second. But during that time period, as we were all, figuring out what are we going to do, where are we going to go, we were very fortunate that as a franchise system and what we do, that we were deemed essential. People need their vehicles to stay on the road. They needed
Yeah.
Oh,
to,
that's true. Yeah.
yeah,
Makes
to be out
sense.
there. So, we had some stores. It was, state by state mandates at that point. We had some stores that were closed, but maybe for a total, it was 2 or 3 months. So it didn't impact us as much as it did, many other companies, brands around the world. So I'm sitting there for my 95th day at home, just thinking out loud and working with the marketing team remotely at the time to think about how we can keep the message out there and how we can really help during these times. And I'll never forget, I got a call to come in. And I'm like, oh no, what is this? Like, because you hear, I mean, many of my
Yeah.
friends, unfortunately, like people lost their jobs. There was downsizing. Like, what is this?
And
I
they
had
didn't do it on Zoom.
no, and they didn't do it on Zoom. So I'm like, okay, here we go. So I walked in and I met with our CEO at the time, um, and then my leader as well. And I was promoted to the vice president of marketing at that time. And the reason I tell that story is because I'll never forget what I was told around that table at that time that I was promoted into an officer of the company, that your mind shift has to change, that it's more about the people and less about the work.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you ask about, I think, my challenges, it's constantly always putting our customer groups at the center of what we do. And I have 3 customer groups. Being in a franchise adds a whole different layer to what you're trying to accomplish every day. And so when I think about those challenges, I'm challenging myself every single day to put our franchise owners, our franchise support center team members here in Troy, Michigan, as well as the drivers, millions of drivers around the world, at the center of our decision making to make the best decisions that I can for them.
Yeah. So as you talk through, like obviously these are challenges as leaders, but you just brought up 3 different buckets of challenges that you have to be paying attention to. How are you overcoming, or what are some of these challenges you're also seeing within franchises, within this industry specific?
Both the industries that we focus on every day, right? Automotive and then franchising too, each has their own unique challenges. We work tremendously with car dealers. And so as the car dealership landscape changes, whether it's purchasing more vehicles online, or any other regulations that may be coming out. A team just came back from the NADA conference, a big conference for car dealers every year, and came back with a number of different opportunities and things to think about too. It's such a big piece of our business, that partnership, that we're always just focused on their needs and where we can make an impact for them. On the other side of the coin, actually, we'll stay with automotive for a second. Also, the way that vehicles are made. We know, EVs, electric vehicles, are a huge opportunity, continue to be for manufacturers, though I think it's slowing down just a little bit. But that also is something that we're watching too. And, we have to be mindful for the technicians that work on the vehicles, how we introduce new safety
Yeah.
operations. So we're very at the forefront of all of those things to make sure that we put safety first. But after all of our own research and product development internally too, we're really excited to bring EV drivers into our brand as well and offer them cleaning solutions, enhancing solutions, and protection solutions for their vehicles too. So we have to stay on top of manufacturer changes. So then we shift our focus all the time, right? Every day, every minute,
Yep.
to franchising as well too. And franchising is a very interesting industry. I actually spoke on CBS Detroit a couple weeks ago about franchising as a whole too. And unfortunately, we have a duty. I won't even say unfortunately. We are grateful to be able to talk through what franchising means to our economy, especially with our government. There seems to be a misnomer about what franchising really is.
Hmm.
And so that's really a focus right now in the franchising industry is responsible franchising. And how are we being responsible as franchisors, as folks who are selling this brand opportunity to future entrepreneurs, people who are interested in investing in our brands? How are we, smart stewards of those brands in the way that we work with them to make sure that they have their opportunity and we have our opportunity too? And, it's a big responsibility in franchising right now to make sure that our government understands not only clearly the value that we provide to the economy. I mean, in Michigan alone, there's thousands of jobs that have been created due to franchising, but that we also just continue to educate on the opportunity.
Well, and I think you bring a good point on this. And this is going to go a little bit off, but during COVID itself, when we talked, I remember when certain relief packages were coming out and certain of these things where it was helping these businesses thrive, a lot of franchises were cut out of that. And these are individually owned franchises who didn't get the same opportunities just because they were able to buy into something that could help bring brand awareness and support. But then the support didn't come back. And that was terrifying. It was eye-opening because I was on some of the committees looking over these packages and realizing I know these individual owners.
Right.
And they shouldn't be left out of this moment.
Right. So it's a huge opportunity on behalf of the International Franchising Association. We continue to partner with them, educate and advocate on behalf of franchising to continue to help all of those who serve in our government understand truly what franchising is about, how it benefits local communities, and how it just serves our overall economy too.
Yeah, removing those misconceptions of what it really is.
Yes, absolutely.
So, well, guys, I think this is a great moment to take a quick break and hear a word from our presenting sponsor, Trion Solutions. We'll be right back.
I'm Joe Vaccari, President and CEO of the Joe Vaccari Restaurant Group, which encompasses 24 restaurants throughout the country. With the addition of Trion, our general managers don't have to spend hours doing paperwork and putting people in our system. All that's done by Trion now, so they can work on what they are there to do, take care of our customers. That's why we rely on Trion.
You can always rely on Trion.
Welcome back to Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber. I am here today with Larisa from Ziebart. So Larisa, you obviously have a brand new role there, so Chief Growth Officer. Tell us a little bit about how you're settling into this role and what are some of the new things you're looking at?
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. It's kind of an interesting newer role, right, that you hear within a C-suite. It's a trend we're seeing in franchising as you see the value and opportunity that marketers contribute to a company. You have to understand your customer. You have to understand their pain points, their journey. You have to measure where they're going. So you really, of a lot of those pieces within a company, have that lens that many others otherwise don't. So we've seen this position grow within franchising, but I'm super excited because it's really helped me dive into franchising more as I'm responsible for growing the company within franchise development, bringing on, new entrepreneurs, new people who are interested in investing in our brand and deciding if we'll be awarding them a franchise or not. So between new owners, between expansions of our current owners, between, really showcasing the opportunity through referrals. And there's just so much opportunity within franchise development to really help grow our company. Such a future part of our growth plan. So I'm just really excited about it.
And you get to lead it.
I know. It's so exciting. I still, I'm just so grateful for the opportunity that's been given to me, not just within the four walls, but beyond the four walls too. With my association with the International Franchise Association. I'll be the incoming chair of the Women's Franchise Committee here in the next couple weeks.
Congrats.
So thank you. We have a big conference coming up. But I'm very passionate about, I think about what's beyond that. I've served and really talked a lot about women in franchising for the last 6 years, and it'll be another 2. And, we've got some amazing things planned with mentorship and providing more tools and resources for women in franchising, specifically future women franchise owners. if it's okay, I'll tell the story
Yeah.
really quickly. But
Please.
one of the conferences that I go to every year is called the Multi-Unit Franchise Conference. And at that conference, it's exactly what it is. It's typically multi-unit owners who are looking for their next investment opportunity. And so Ziebart really started participating just a few years ago. And I sat in the general session and I'm looking around and I look left and I look right. And I text my current chair of the Women's Franchise Committee, Robin Gagnon, wonderful woman. And I go, Robin, there are 10 women in this room right now. Why is that? And I'm not throwing shade.
No.
Okay, I'm just saying what was happening, facts here. And she's so heavily involved. She actually founded a franchise called We Sell Restaurants. Guess what they do? They help people sell their restaurants.
there
It's a
you go.
resale concept, which is so amazing. So proud of her and everything that she's done. But she said, you know, Larisa, what I'm seeing in the industry is that there are a lot of pieces of education for women that just have never happened. They don't quite understand financing. That's opportunity, the financing opportunity, what's available to
Yeah.
them, real estate, all these things. So that got us thinking as we're strategically planning to help grow opportunities for women in franchising. We're really going to shift the focus of the Women's Franchise Committee to building a platform of those tools specific to identifying answers to women's problems in franchising.
That's
So
fantastic.
I'm super excited about that. But beyond that, as we've all talked about in the future too, I know where my next step's going to go in that era to help promote and advocate for franchising. And I really believe in the local chamber. And I really believe in that relationship. We are own franchise owners. It's a mandatory with your new store startup. You join the chamber, you become a part of it, you utilize that resource. So I'm just excited to expand upon that and on a broader level in the future. I think in franchising, I feel like that's where I'm going to go. But yeah, so very passionate about franchising. Excited to bring that passion to Ziebart in this role too, and really just make it as even more amazing than it already is for our current owners and for all the new opportunities that come about with new franchise owners as well.
Love it.
So you're talking about all the things that you're putting together, which are amazing for women in franchising. What's one piece of advice you would give them? I know you've talked about the real estate and the front, but what's a practical piece if they're listening right now and they're on that cusp of wanting to maybe break out and grab a franchise, put their time behind that? What's that one nugget?
I would say really identify what you're passionate about first. Something can look like a really great investment because you can look at an item 19 in a franchise disclosure document that every franchise has to provide. That gives you, a little bit more of an under the lens picture of the type of, revenue that you can generate from that franchise. But before it even starts, decide what you're passionate about and start looking there. There's thousands of franchise opportunities out there, right? So, with Ziebart being in automotive, clearly the people that are coming to us, if you don't have some sort of passion for automotive, I'm not sure you're going to want to do this every day, right?
Yeah.
Let's be real. And we ask those questions in the upfront. Why were you interested in Ziebart? Yes, it's a 65-year-old brand. Clearly there's a legacy. Clearly there's an opportunity and we've seen success. But why are you really interested in it? And what part of the business, even as a secondary to that, once you're interested in that type of, what you're interested in and want to invest in, then what happens after that? Do you want to be an owner operator? Do you want to be an absentee owner? Do you like being in the front? Do you like talking to people? Do you hate talking to people? Do you want to wrench on cars? You need to kind of decide that, because when you're building this business, now you're going to have to fill those holes that you're not going to be able to fulfill. So it's just this ongoing cadence that I think is a part of Matt Holler is the CEO of the International Franchise Association, really big right now on responsible franchising. That's the theme around franchising right now. And I think everybody picks that apart in different ways. So really just know what you want to be passionate about and be real about your strengths and your weaknesses.
That real part's very important. We've seen that,
Yeah.
unfortunately, during my tenure at the chamber. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and you're looking for the joys of work too.
Exactly.
So if you are saying, "Oh, I want to do this for the money,"
Yeah.
I mean, sure,
Right.
but are you really going to be passionate about it
gonna
at that
drive
point?
you?
Is
Like,
that the
not sure.
drive to see it?
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Well, Larisa, thank you so much for joining us. Obviously, we always love seeing you. We know you're so passionate. We love to see how you keep progressing in your job and how you're making a bigger impact literally across all these different sectors to help others. So you are just an inspiring, amazing human being. So
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, and thank you for all that you do too.
absolutely. Well, guys, that's all we have here today on Members on the Mic with the Troy Chamber of Commerce. To learn about upcoming news or any type of events, go to troychamber.com. Thanks so much and have a great rest of your day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.